Hey everyone, SkeelsyShoota here. Welcome to episode 15 of the QuadFeed podcast. I'm here, as always, with my three co-hosts. Oh, no, wait, no, it's not. It's not even a triple feed. It's a dual feed. Dual Comm, double espresso, double shot, whatever you want to call it. Chris, still missing in action. Chris, where are you? Ron, we know where he is. He's busily still overseas on his fact-finding mission and trying to turn Ellen Page back from being a lesbian into something that he can sort of come to grips with. Not literally, but more in line with his own sexual preference. Housekeeping-wise, apologies for the lack of recent shows lately. Had a scheduling conflict, I think, the week before last. Last week, Ben and I did what is show 15, and from what will now be known as the Voldemort episode, or the episode that shall not be named or not be spoken of from here on in. Yours truly screwed up and hit log off on a program, not actually thinking it was log off on the entire computer. So halfway through the rendering process, I actually lost pretty much, I lost everything. So apologies for that. And hoping some of the time-sensitive topics that we had last week, we can still use for this show as well. And obviously this show is show 15. So without further ado, I suppose I'll swing out to my one and only co-host this week.
G'day, how's it going?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
I had nothing better. Yeah, I know. I had nothing better to do tonight, so I'm here. So that's
Cheers. Dedication. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I love being here. You know that.
I do.
Place to be. Place to be.
And I like the whole sort of, I suppose, going down a different pathway with the whole Titanfall video. That was good. Good to have a topic that we could actually spend an hour's worth of talking on, even though it was
Definitely.
fairly tiresome. We were both doing double duty and felt the need to spend an hour's worth of good time on a good game. So it was worth doing, and obviously we're both counting days until full release. I cannot wait.
Very soon now.
Although I am worried about the Australian courier system, whatever company you choose to throw your cash at to deliver your prized fragile items. I mean, I can just see this guy. If it's anyone from Toll or what's the other one? Or Couriers Please or something.
Couriers Please. Oh my God.
Couriers Please.
They'll just chuck it.
Yeah. There is a courier actually that we always like. I'm looking at this. I look at the stairs. My desk sort of overlooks the stairs. And this guy will come up 2 flights of stairs, all bar the last 2 stairs, and he'll sort of lean over and go, "Hey," and I'd be like, "Dude, you've just walked up 18 stairs. What was the last 2 too much of a difficulty for you?" And he will literally flop stuff over the sort of balustrade onto the couch that's there, and it's like, you lazy fucker.
He must think, okay, I make that many deliveries. If I skip the last 2 steps on every
deliveries.
delivery,
Oh yeah,
I've saved several flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. That's just the insight of a lazy person, which is me. So maybe they think that too. I don't know. I'm not saying courier people are lazy, but they do have to make a lot of deliveries.
I mean, I'm sure that he's implying some sort of Donald Trump-like streamlining way of thinking, going, you know what? It's not the time that I spend. It's what I do with my time, or some bullshit way of thinking. That he's gone, you know what? I'm going to shave 2 steps off every delivery I make. And in the process make everyone think I'm a fuckwit. Mission accomplished. Couriers, please. But yeah, I'm just kind of worried. I think I'll need to catch a cab home that night from work. There's no way sort of...
You get rolled.
Get rolled. In the mean streets of Sydney. It's not safe for a man with a collector's edition Titanfall figurine that you can fit a person into the box. I mean, that aside, I don't even think I could get it down to Central Station, so...
Yeah.
We shall see.
I can't pick up from the city.
Good boy.
There you
Good
go.
boy. Good boy. Speaking of Titanfall, I suppose it's a wonderful segue.
Yay!
And typically, and hopefully we won't cross this too often. It was a topic last week that we did go into a little bit of detail, but there's been a bit of a recent article come through, and that was over the course of the beta, it had 2 million players.
Yep.
And there is some evidence to suggest that Titanfall might be getting a pilot-only mode after launch, as well as you can't call it anything other than what it is. It's a season pass for DLC, aka every COD in the last couple of years.
Ah, okay. Because that's funny. Because I heard that there won't be a season pass for it.
Oh.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see who was correct then.
That's it. Yes, $20 down. You heard it here first, viewers. $20. No. You know what though? I mean, there's a very short list of games where I would actually consider DLC for. And I think going in with some, and it's quite smart on, I suppose, on Respawn's part to know that people are already sort of preconditioned to DLC or the concept of a season pass, especially if they know all the shortfalls of previous Call of Duty series where, people get pissed off for paying for reticles and camos and all that sort of shit. So they might be going about it a bit differently to make it worth plonking down the $50 or $60 that a season pass might be.
Yeah.
But I was more intrigued by the fact that it might get a pilot-only mode, which would suggest to me the game would just be renamed Fall in the absence of any Titans.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome Fall.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, that could be pretty cool. I mean, that'd be very COD-like, obviously, but yeah, I would like that. I have to see what the because we mentioned in the episode that we shall not speak of that what the weapon range. Was that in the? Doesn't matter when.
Well, it was in the
but
Dual
the weapon
Comm.
range.
We touched
on
the Dual Comm. Yeah.
Yeah, what the weapon range was going to be like. So if for the pilot only one, hopefully they'll expand the your arsenal a little bit.
Oh, and they have. Yeah.
They have. Oh,
There's
okay.
since been a fairly extensive list of. I think there's only the one or possibly two shotguns. But as far as subs and assault rifles and other stuff, there's actually quite a bit. So I was quite impressed by that.
Ah, cool.
What I found myself doing towards the end, I suppose, of the beta was putting my Titan in auto mode and just letting it run around the map and just going, do what you want, mate. Follow me, cover my six, and hopefully I won't go into too many inaccessible spots where you can't get to, and you'll just be a sitting duck for another Titan or something. So I found myself doing that, and admittedly, it did feel kind of cool, like spending 100% of the time on the ground. And then I knew if I was going to get ambushed or something, it's like, holy crap, I'll just duck into my Titan to get out of harm's way for a little while and pick up a few extra kills along the way, and ultimately extend my lifespan. So
it's funny you said that, because I was doing that a little bit as well. So and I heard a few other people doing that too. So it seemed to be a pretty common thing.
And I suppose it'd be better in like objective game modes, like if you're playing Hardpoint, just dump that Titan.
It's almost like having like an extra player on your team.
Just set it up like a sentry gun kind of thing. Just don't turn on follow mode. Just plonk it near your captured flag, or whatever, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
So I dare say at the time of recording this, it is 11 days to go, but I dare say when I upload this, it'll probably be close to 8 days. So fingers crossed. I've actually got another video, speaking to all the people out there. I've got a video that's probably going to go up in the next couple of days on a topic which I haven't seen anyone cover. So hopefully it'll be a bit of a new topic for people to have a bit of a chat about. But I'll leave it at that, and I'll let you be the judge of that in an upcoming video. So yeah, that's the token Titanfall content for this week.
Yeah.
Early access DayZ. Ben, take it away.
Yo! I actually played a little bit tonight, just before we started recording. I had a little bit of an urge to play. Still not that much to do.
Really?
Kind of just like a little fashion accessory sort of game at the moment where you're just hunting for clothes. No, not really. There's more guns and all that sort of stuff in it. But big news this week. Dean Hall, the creator, is
he being evicted?
Leaving. He's leaving.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
I heard a couple of people, put their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
And trying to think of the possible reasons why that would happen.
Well, yeah.
Whether or not he's staying, because he's staying on as a consultant or something, isn't he? Until
he's said for quite a while that he was going to be leaving. It's not like he just upped and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm leaving." So, and it's not like he's even leaving now. He's not leaving until I think it's the end of the year or something. So 9 months away.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's just upping and leaving right now. People always knew, if you actually have a look back, especially on Reddit, which he talks to a lot of the people on there, which is really good. And in interviews as well, he always said he was going to be leaving. So, but people, the way they see it, they want to see it in the most controversial way. So they say, oh, so they've just released the DayZ standalone. He's taken all this money and then now he's leaving, sort of thing. He's cashing out, sort of thing. That's not what he did. For starters, Bohemia Interactive, who he's working for, and they're all working together, they get the majority of the money as well. So it's not like he's just taken all the money and left. He's still going to be consulting them, helping them 110% till the end of the year, and then even after that if they need any major help. So in reality, it can only really be a good thing. I mean, I love the guy. I reckon he's a genuinely nice person. Any interviews you've seen with him, he's always really nice and all that sort of stuff. But he must be, freaking exhausted, which is the main reason why he said he's going to be leaving. He wants to go back home to New Zealand, with his family and his kids and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, really, as much as I like him and really don't want him to leave, it can only be a good thing. I don't think it'll drop off. I really hope it doesn't, because it's a fantastic game. I'm still having, fun with that, and also the DayZ mod. So, hopefully, it all turns out well in the end.
Do you think there's much evidence to suggest that, and a few people have speculated this as well, is that Bohemia might have interfered a bit too much in terms of the whole creative control, and whether or not it's like a Michael Flatley job kind of thing, where if he doesn't have 100% creative control and yet the bills are being paid by Bohemia, development costs and all the overheads that go into getting a game from go to woe, whether or not it's a case of clashing heads and creative control and the overall vision for it, whether or not it completely aligns with what Dean's ultimate vision of how this game is going to go, and whether or not he's walking away because it's at a point now where the foundations are there, and it'll be quite easy for all the people that are still there, or the people that are there are it's been disseminated to, and it's quite easy for them to go, oh, okay, yeah, this is the end goal kind of thing, and that would align with his ultimate vision of what this game was supposed to be. I mean, it's weird.
No, I don't think they interfered too much. I think a lot of the ideas are in there have been Dean's, and also people from Reddit as well. People will make suggestions on there, and he'll go, "That's a great idea," or "No, we can't do that," or "Yes, we can," sort of thing, and then they will put that in the game. So, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much Bohemia Interactive are interfering with, sort of thing. I haven't heard too much about that, but yeah. It's just it's just one of those games where there's just been so much talk around it all the time of just like so slow, just like
Mm.
it's just taking them so long, and then they finally released the standalone, and it's like there's not much to do in this game. What are we doing? There's not much to do. So, but still, people like play it heaps, including me. Like I love it. Um,
So,
so who
so as
knows?
far
Maybe at
as
the end of the year,
when you say there's nothing to do, was there a whole lot to do more? Well, there's a whole lot
yeah,
more to do in the alpha.
the mod. Yeah,
Oh, the mod. Oh,
in
okay.
in the mod, yeah. Just because you had like vehicles, which included planes, a massive range of different weapons and all that sort of stuff. And then the mod came out. Sorry, and then the standalone came out, and yeah, it was just there's only a couple of guns. Not saying that you need like a massive arsenal, but it's just kind of just seems like really there's not much to do at the moment. Um, yeah, unless you're like with a big group of friends and you all go out looking for the high-powered guns and stuff, then yeah. But
And I
yeah,
guess I mean, it's purely from a spectator's point of view. The streams that I've watched, um, I suppose over the course of the last few weeks, um, it seems like a lot of the changes that have been implemented or are part of the standalone are all fairly minimal, but they're a lot more person based. So I mean, I don't know whether or not the handcuffs came into it or the fact that you can. What was the other one? It's like taking clothes, turning them into rags to make them into bandages. Like I don't know whether or
yeah,
not that was part of the original spec, and whether or
yeah.
not you
No, that
could,
wasn't in the mod. Yeah,
yeah, like rusty handcuffs and stuff, and would obviously impact on how long a person stays handcuffed for, and whether or not they're damaged, and all these other things that you wouldn't necessarily think would go into a game. I know it's all in the eyes of incredible eye for detail and things that would actually take into account in a zombie apocalypse kind of situation. But
hmm.
I mean, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't like finding an abandoned Jeep or something, or an abandoned Apache gunship or something, and seeing how far you could go with it.
Yeah,
And thinking back, I mean, it has been months and months and months since I've seen even the likes of Jay, jump into a helicopter and fly across the countryside, or get onto one of
yeah.
those push bikes and just go up near Electro, or is it Cherno? Is the other one?
Cherno. Yeah,
Cherno.
yeah.
It's like yeah. I'm purely a
What?
spectator. Don't kill the messenger, folks. I'm purely a spectator at this game. It quite literally sits there on that second screen whilst I'm doing work or something, and I'm hearing stuff go on. So don't shoot the
Yeah.
messenger. I probably will embark on getting it. And I actually nearly pulled the trigger on it just the other day. Actually, come to think of it, when I was
Mm.
buying Hawken, which I'll get into, um, I thought, you know what, I'll throw Ben a bone, and if he was to see me pop
We
up,
can play. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just imagine
Oh,
that face of yours grinning with appreciation when he sees me pop up in a playlist or on a server or something. I'll be like,
oh
hey,
my God.
are you friendly? Yeah, I'm friendly. I do a podcast with you every week, you mother.
Uh, no,
Yeah,
you'd already be dead. I would have already got my fire axe and
you totally
chopped you and
chop my limbs
stolen
off.
your beans. But
Taken my
yeah,
underpants, made them into a bandage, even though you're not bleeding, just purely for the sake of taking my underpants. It's like high school
yeah,
flashbacks all over again.
yeah.
Anyway,
But towards the end of the year, um, or just when they add a bunch of more stuff, it is going to be like really good. But we've been saying this for a long time now, so
what can I
yeah.
expect graphically? Like, give me some sort of
Oh, it looks nice.
benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the just in research for this show, the early access, and I saw it and I thought, you know what? Whether or not I've been seeing it on less than good gaming rigs, it actually looked very, very respectable. I didn't know
Yeah,
whether or not
looks nice.
because people are turning down the graphical quality to enhance the gameplay side of things, so things aren't as jerky or whatever.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs the DayZ psyche or the community at large. So, but it did look rather impressive. Kind of
Yeah.
along the likes of um, um, Mist 1996. Yeah, awesome.
But that's the thing, it's not optimized, so it
Mm.
needs like good hardware for it to even run at like 30 frames sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just no, it does look nice, definitely.
Mm.
And I mean, you can turn the graphics right down, and you can makes it easier to see people and all this sort of stuff, which is a little bit dodgy. But
Mm.
yeah, that's what we see. You know, what we used to do in the mod. Yeah, you turn the graphics right down, so in the grass you could see people much easier. Yeah, a little bit
I think
dodgy, but
Call of Duty players used to do that with the
yeah.
colorblind assist. There was something, I think it had something to do with the care packages or something. I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
Mm.
equally as trolling.
Yeah, but I think just quickly before we leave that, I think more people at the moment are playing the DayZ mod Epoch at the moment because that's pretty much the one that's being developed the most and has the most stuff. I still haven't played it at the moment. I was playing Breaking Point and a couple of other ones, so but I'd probably check out Epoch because that looks pretty good. I've watched a few game plays of it too, and that looks pretty good. It's just got like a lot more than standalone.
Hmm.
So, but just definitely doesn't look as good and blah blah blah. So, yeah,
Cool.
it'll be good when it's all sorted.
Mm. I touched on Hawken, or as I like to call it, Titanfall
Bo-
Alpha.
oh, okay, I thought you were going to say Borken, as in like really boring. But I don't know anything about it. I haven't played it,
You know
but I haven't
what?
heard anything about it. So I thought, no, it must be a little bit boring.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a case of um, them sort of walking into a room and going, "Hey, remember us from E3 in 2012, or whenever it was that I saw I suppose, a first version of this, either as a teaser or like a pre-development render or something." And I saw it, I thought, you know what, it's been a while since you've had a good sort of mech-based shooter. I'm going to keep an eye on this when it eventually does come out. And I think at the time I didn't have a PC rig, so I was like, oh, PC, oh, that's a shame. And then it obviously hadn't been so much of an impact for me to go, I must buy a rig just to get this game.
Yeah,
So it kind of went by the wayside. Flash forward 2014, and then I see a 29.99 early access payment to play the game, and I'm like, I've heard zero in the last few months about this coming to. I mean, I'm no stranger to Steam now, and I'm like, okay, why haven't I heard a whole lot about this? Graphically, it's really, really good. Like the detail level, and especially if you crank everything to ultra and you've got a rig to support it, it's visually, it's a really, really easy on the eye kind of game. But then I found myself, and this comes with the disclaimer, it's kind of like if you've played Titanfall and you like the speed and I suppose the ease of use of being in that Titan and all the things it can do, going to Hawken, which is 100% mech based, you might come across a learning curve that is completely unexpected. There's
mm.
no, as far as I'm aware, I think you have to unlock the training functionality so you can get to grips with the mechs that you're using. You know, that it just feels like the training for it and the learning curve for it is so far and away, you know, more than what I've experienced with any other kind of game. Everything's very icon based as well, so you need to like physically go into menus and look at stuff. It's not very intuitive in the description of perks or weaponry or armor classes or customization or anything like that. And I'm in there just getting completely obliterated and just trying to find a base level, I'll call them Titans, a base level Titan that has got decent weaponry and an ability that I can actually use kind of thing. And it did take me a few games just to, I suppose, figure out what the tried and tested formula for engaging someone is, and it's pretty much shoot, shoot, dash left, shoot, shoot, take cover, recover, rinse, repeat kind of thing.
Mm.
And I'm like, I probably would have been excited about this about a year ago, but as it stands,
It's like too little, too late.
kind of too little, too late, and I just see the greatest sense of irony in that. That early access came about on the very first day of the Titanfall beta. So whether or not that was planned, if it wasn't, then sucks to be you, because you're playing you're essentially playing two games with Titanfall, and Hawken is you're pretty much locked in that metal cage, and you're going to be
That
exploding
Titans only mode.
Titan only mode, yeah, as opposed to a pilot only mode. So I'm fully aware that I need to spend more time on it, and I probably will. And I will admit, towards the end, when I did start to get my patterns down and find a Titan that I actually did enjoy using, I was actually getting I was ranking up fairly consistently. So I suppose first impressions being what they are, a lot of people I imagine would have kind of just gone, right, well, that's $29.99 they won't see again, and put it down. But yeah, I'll stick with it and see what's what. Might do a first impressions that you will see a video of in the coming days. Who knows? I might do that. I might not. I might not. Stress on the I might not. But yeah, kind of feels like they missed the boat. But I suppose in March being what it is, in being a good month, you've got some stuff that you've been taking a look at, haven't you?
Yeah.
Somewhat unsuccessfully in a couple of cases.
Yeah. Well, wait, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the games that I played this week, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, there was 4 that I played this week. There was Castlevania, the Elder Scrolls Online beta over the weekend, Thief, and also, last but definitely not least, the Rambo game.
Oh, I've heard that's sick. No, wait. What's the word? Not rogue.
Oh, what's the
No,
opposite of
fucking
sick?
tragic, I think is what the...
Yeah.
Start with
Alrighty.
that, because that...
Start with that one.
Oh my goodness.
I only found out about this game because in the podcast that we shall not mention, Gav mentioned the game. And so I was like, okay, this sounds so bad. I have to play it. Specifically didn't look at any clips or anything like that. Just went out and got it, and I was like, all right. Sat down, had my drink, got all comfy, and I'm like, here we go. All right.
Put the candles
Give me
on.
both barrels. Yep.
Bit of Barry White. Set the mood.
Yep. Yeah.
Some,
my classic
some
game on.
tender Stallone love. Take it away.
Yeah, I just wanted, all right, both barrels to the face. Hit me. Yeah, it's like pretty bad. But to play devil's advocate here, they weren't trying to make like the craziest game. Like, it is what it is. It's like, if they were advertising it as like an awesome first-person shooter, next-gen, all this sort of stuff, blah, 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 yeah, then it'd be really bad. But everyone knew it was going to be an on-rails thing. If you don't want that, don't buy that. Don't play that sort of thing. So I knew what it was when I got it. So I wasn't disappointed. That being said, it wasn't fun. The game is like...
So you're saying I wasn't disappointed. That being said, though, I was massively disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed in the terms of, I was expecting all this sort of stuff, but I knew it was an on-rails shooter. I knew it was going to be pretty dodgy and all that sort of stuff.
You just didn't realize it was an on-drugs shooter.
Yeah, I couldn't play much of it. I couldn't get really far in. I lost interest pretty quickly.
Consciousness? Sorry, interest. Okay.
Yeah. But it was just like so stupid as well.
You know what though?
What is this shit?
I am inclined to agree with you, because I'm a fan of reverse marketing in that, if you don't market it in a super duper mega positive light, and it does turn out to be so bad that chances are you don't have to spend any money whatsoever on marketing or any sort of promotion. People are going to come to you to see how bad this game
Bad it
is,
is.
and
Like, yeah,
there might be a very small proportion of that demographic that goes, you know what, it wasn't as bad as what Metacritic is saying at a fantastic score of 4 from Game Informer or 37 from Metacritic or whatever.
yeah. I mean, like,
It's crazy.
aliens, Colonel Marine sort of thing. Colonial Colonel,
Yeah.
Colonial
It
Marines.
might as well have been Colonel. Yeah. That game was nuts. Lol.
as, as in, they were building that up heaps. They had like a massive embargo, like media embargo, so you couldn't really talk about it until it was released, meaning everyone had to like pre-order it because it was going to be like awesome. So they built it up heaps and it turned out to be a steaming pile of shit. At least with this one, like I said, they're not claiming, they're not trying to be anything they're not,
Yeah.
So that being said, the game is not fun. The game has made, like, the developers have made like heaps of games in the past, and from what I've read, they're all shit. So
No, they're consistent then. That's good.
they're consistent. Again, I haven't made any games. I can't say I've made a better game, technically, if I want to be a little bit, devil's advocate sort of thing. But yes, don't buy the game. It is a steaming pile of shit. You will not have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, if you're from a studio that is renowned for producing shit, then what is the draw card moving forward? What is the next project? Or what is the next company that decides to sign over licensing rights to, you know what, I'm not going to go with Respawn, I'm not going to go with, Naughty Dog. I'm not going to go with any of those. I want to pick, I don't even know the name of these guys.
I don't even know the name of it. I can't remember.
Insert name
It wasn't
here.
no. Yeah.
I'm going to go with
Which is a bit
insert name
rude
here.
because I'm bagging them and I don't even know their name, so that's a bit, hypocritical of me sort of thing.
Well, hopefully
But,
people won't
yeah.
do a total biscuit on me and chastise me for giving a shit game a shit review. So
Yeah.
it is widely known.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he got all of his strikes removed as well, so that's good.
Power to the people.
Yeah. Exactly. But that shit was just ridiculous. My God. So yeah, don't buy Rambo the game.
Don't buy Rambo. Castlevania, because this is actually a game that I've got the demo for. It was probably about the first hour or so, or an hour's worth of gameplay. I don't know whether or not it's technically from the beginning, but you've got all your powers and whatnot, but you bought the full game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll probably end up picking it up next week, because I've seen mixed reviews, if I'm fair.
Yeah. I don't play those games sort of much at all. From what I've heard in a different review as well, it's also the 42nd game in this series. It's like the 42nd Castlevania game,
Across all platforms?
as in the series.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think there were some Vita, not Vita versions, of some Game Boy Advance versions,
Okay, yeah. I would say it includes those ones too.
and it was actually the second Game Boy game that I bought in 1992 in Honolulu Airport. I can actually give you the location. Yeah, and I've been a fan of them ever since. But yeah, sorry, I digress.
Yeah, it can't. No, it's See, it's funny. It's talking of we mentioned last week about about the Steam games, buying games on Steam when they're on sale, but never actually playing them. I have Darksiders, which I have never played it, and I'm assuming it's that sort of third-person fighter sort of thing. Visually, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, it looks quite good. I didn't have the frame rate meter on. I don't know if it's capped at 60 or whatever, but it seemed to be running at 120 on my PC, so that looked really nice. The gameplay seemed pretty good. I just had a problem at the start when I was you have like your little tutorial sort of thing,
Yeah.
and it tells you like the keys which flash up on the screen of what you need to do to dodge or like
Parry.
block sort of thing. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. It kept on thinking that I had an Xbox controller plugged in, and it kept on giving me the Xbox keys to do. I mean, the mouse and keyboard were working fine and everything, but it just wouldn't let me change to the keyboard layout. So instead of telling me to press like the left shoulder button or the left button or whatever, I mean, that's what it was telling me to press instead of like shift or F or all that sort of stuff on the keyboard, and it just would not let me change it. So I'm in the middle of a battle mashing the keyboard with my hands trying to, because it wouldn't leave that part of the tutorial unless I pressed the button, and for the life of me I pressed every button on my keyboard twice and it didn't do anything. So that was really, really frustrating. Other than that,
What you need to do there is press the shoulder buttons on your keyboard. If you just reach
oh
reach
yeah,
behind there,
reach behind and
and
just
you
pick it up
flap
and just
down
go.
the legs that actually make it
Just
proper.
go.
That's the one.
Just that one? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
such
one.
a noob. Yeah.
I didn't know they were there, sorry. I'll live for now.
So, typical Microsoft Xbox 360 computer keyboard. You've got that.
But that would probably feel nice on a controller anyway, so maybe I should pick up a controller or something like that. I don't know. I'm really comfortable. The Xbox One controller is actually really comfortable, so I might go out and get a Titanfall controller. That'll impress you a lot, and see if I can hook that up to the PC or something like that and play these games.
I don't know whether or not the new ones are compatible with PC.
Are you serious?
I'm fairly serious. Hence the reason. I could be wrong.
My
and
God.
with any luck, there might be a patch. Hence the reason I put myself on the big screen. I went with the tried and true, just simple wired Xbox controller. $29.99 from all major retailers.
That's pretty cheap.
It is.
I think the PlayStation 3 ones are still quite expensive. But they're very nice.
Yeah, when I played
Anyway.
the demo, I mean, I'm in that middle ground of deciding whether or not to put the video that I had prepared, a 6 or so minute first impressions video, but I might just wait until the full release, get the full release. It was a game I was going to buy anyway. I've said that over the course of a couple of podcasts. And then do a bit of a review first impressions. From the demo point of view, it felt like they were trying and accomplishing, for the most part, a combat system similar to the Batman games. I don't think from as far as moves go, there was as many moves as what you could do in a Batman game. Like, wasn't much in the way of different animations for different kinds of punches or anything, and the counter didn't seem to work as responsively. But one thing I did read that was a massive improvement from the first Lord of Shadows was the camera, and how the camera's I suppose the free flow sort of aspect of it. They didn't go down the whole Metal Gear Revengeance terrible camera kind of pathway, which was that game's big sort of no-no. I wasn't finding myself like lost in 3D space or anything like that. I had eyes on me at all times, kind of thing. Felt really smooth.
Yeah,
So I mean,
that's why I say it felt like I was at 120 frames sort of thing, because it just felt like really smooth, where just like people's legs are moving and all that sort of stuff like really quickly, but I could just see like the graphics like the whole way through, and it just seemed like really smooth and just nice. So I want to play a little bit more. I didn't get to play enough of it, so I can't really talk about it too much. But yeah, I want to play a bit more of it.
what I might do as a special sort of mid-podcast treat is take the footage that I did have and maybe overlay it onto this podcast. Who knows?
Interesting.
I'm an enigma, a mystery wrapped in a podcast. Yeah. So that's Castlevania. It scored 70 on Metacritic, if I read that correctly. But it also scored 6 on Polygon and 6 on Game Inform, which goes back to that tried and true formula of whether or not people are just making shitty reviews just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Origins. Yeah, still pissed off. Still pissed off. Thief. Tell me about Thief and what your
Thief, Thief,
experiences were.
Thief is I came into this new. I didn't get to play any of the other Thief games. I think there's been a few of them. Never played any of them. So this is quite good in terms of in the shadows,
Stolen your heart.
stealing things.
Stolen your heart, so to
Yeah,
speak. Mm-hmm.
yeah, a
Not
bit.
so much.
That's the thing. That's another one with mixed reviews where
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I can make up my own mind without having to read reviews or anything like that. But what I'm trying to say is I'm agreeing with them in the sense where it's like it hasn't stolen my heart. It's just like, yeah, 6.5, 7 out of 10 sort of thing. Where it's just like, yeah, it's nothing amazing, but it's still good fun. Being in the shadows, stealing things. It kind of feels. See, because I played Dishonored as well, where it kind of just feels like a not cheaper, but just like a different toned down sort of version of Dishonored. Um,
And you know what? There's
yeah.
been at least 2 or 3 articles that I've seen where they've done a direct Thief versus Dishonored
Oh, did they? Okay.
stealth kind of thing. I think it might have been on Kotaku, it might have been on IGN, but
Oh,
yeah, there's some definite parallels between the two that they were trying to establish. And there was even another. It might have been on the day of release. It might have been an IGN where they had one of the game's developers on there. And one of the viewer questions that came through from the live stream was, how influenced were you by games like Assassin's Creed, by games like Dishonored? And he wasn't so much fishing for answers, but you could kind of see the gears turning in his head. It's like, you know what? If I out and out say we weren't inspired one little bit by anything that we saw in any of those games, people would just call bullshit.
yeah, yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's a French. I won't do a French accent. But it was like, I'd be lying if we weren't inspired in some way, shape, or form by. Oh, that wasn't a French accent. That was a French accent.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
That was okay. Yeah. Oui, oui. Apologies to any French listeners. I love pain au chocolat. Don't worry. The but it was like, yeah, I would be lying if we weren't inspired at least a little bit by Dishonored, by Assassin's Creed, by Metal Gear, by Splinter Cell, that sort of stuff. So I was like, okay, well at least he's being honest. But yeah, inspiration doesn't necessarily lead to execution in the best way. And even from the stuff that I've seen, it doesn't feel as open worldy as what it would be. It's almost like that is on rails as well,
Yeah,
which is obviously by design,
definitely.
but it depends on
Yeah,
how restrictive that feels to you as you're going through.
definitely not Rambo style, but um, but yeah, it is a little bit, but but you, you're a thief sort of thing. You're trying to get from one part to the other. It's not an open world in the sense where you get to go like all the way across like the city sort of thing. You're the difference between Thief and Dishonored is Dishonored, you're moving around a city, whereas Thief is you kind of have like jobs to do or whatever. You're stealing things, so yeah.
Klepto.
Yeah, a little bit kleptomaniac, yeah. But it's good. Nothing too amazing, but it's still good fun.
I got my brother to. It was my birthday yesterday, viewers. Send me a sub for my birthday. Not natural subscribe. And he was going to get it for my birthday, and I think it was like the day of release. Started seeing all these reviews come through, and like you, I'm not so much going to be saying this review is the be all and end all of it, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't influence me a little bit to the point where I would feel bad for a person spending $90 on a game for me, only for me to put it in the drive and go, this isn't exactly what I was hoping for.
You ruined my birthday. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. You've stolen my birthday. So, whereas I'm perfectly happy, to wear that cost if it's a shit game and I've bought it myself. So, I didn't get him to pull the trigger on that. So, One thing you mentioned it before, Dark Souls 2. That's something that I would be very new to,
Mm.
and I didn't know whether or not it's the kind of game that I need to be up on the first one. Because I feel bad for being late adopters to any of these IPs that are out. I was saying to you before about The Witcher, and how that new one looks incredible. And I think that's the third one or something, isn't it? The Witcher 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
next question.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it is. I haven't played any of them.
But I was just kind of like, holy crap, that looks insane. And
Mm.
I won't feel guilty one bit about buying that one. But Dark
Yeah.
Souls, I mean, have you played that one? Have you played the first one?
I haven't. Oh man, every game we're talking about, I'm saying, oh, I haven't played it before. I do play games. I
You play
haven't
lots of
played the
games.
first one. Yeah.
Although I have
I
stopped
haven't.
playing Call of Duty Ghosts, so don't expect any more content coming from me for that. I've been
I
converted.
have
I've
not.
been baptized by the eyes of Respawn.
What?
I've been respawned. Zing.
I haven't played the first Dark Souls. I hear it's like pretty hardcore and has like a strong sort of player following. Basically for its difficulty, where it's just like unforgiving, where you will just die and die and die and die and die. So yeah, I do want to go check out number 2 because everyone's talking about it. So March seems to be like a really big month for games with Titanfall, Dark Souls, and the South Park game as well. So yeah, this one's up there with what's coming out this month. So yeah, I will definitely be checking it out.
Oh yeah, I mean, and this is to the viewers. I mean, don't get us wrong. You know, it just works out that March is just an incredibly good month for games coming out. So, as far as the list of stuff that we've got in front of us here, it's kind of like, oh, this is coming out. This is coming out. Crap, we haven't played the first one or the first two of any of these franchises. It's just how March has turned out.
Yeah,
But stick of truth. Yeah. I am tempted by that one. I've got to say,
I'll get it. It
Es-
looks good.
especially
I,
since the whole Twitch plays Pokemon. I think there was some talk about whether or not you could do a similar because it's turn based, isn't it? This as well.
I don't know. I don't think
Sorry, maybe turn based is
possibly.
probably the wrong way to phrase it. Um, I suppose incremental little movements.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and whether or not that would adapt just as well, plus the comedy factor
Mm,
onto some sort of Twitch interface. I read it somewhere, and whether or not that would that would take as well. But yeah, I think I might make that. I don't care if it's good or bad purchase for the month. I'm sure I'll get a laugh out of it.
yeah. No, I'm looking forward to that one. I think it comes out tomorrow, the day after.
Oh,
So
really?
very soon.
Birthday money. Let's look it up. When's it coming out? Stick of Truth
Pretty sure it's the 3rd of March.
release date. Do.
Talk amongst yourself, viewers, while we do this.
Maybe get some hold music for it. The game will also be censored in Australia, which has strict You know what? Fuck you, Australia. Sorry.
Yeah. 6th of March.
6th of March. Same release date as Castlevania. They're going to be battling it out. They're in direct competition with each other. Although one's Ubisoft there, so. So yeah, that's kind of the roundup on what March has to offer in terms of stuff that we've either, stuff that Ben's been playing rather, and stuff that's on the way.
But I also, sorry, just very quickly, I did play Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
For the open for the weekend. I played Skyrim. Did you play Skyrim? Not really.
I have not Skyrim jobbed. No, I haven't.
Skyrim.
Again, but
I play.
what it comes back down to is the following and how
Hmm,
I haven't played anything prior to that. I didn't play. Was it Skyrim, Morrowind, then Elder Scrolls Online? Is that the order?
yeah, yeah. Morrowind, Skyrim.
If I fucked something up
See,
somewhere. Yeah.
yeah, blah 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 blah. Something
Either
like that. I
way,
don't know. People are going ape shit right now, but
yeah, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Thumbs
Sorry.
down, thumbs down, thumbs down. Losing subs. The yeah, haven't played any of them, and
Mm,
I don't. And it's certainly through not through any fault of the game itself, because obviously it's got a huge following and looks pretty damn incredible. And a lot of people have said to me, on a truly awesome gaming rig, like it doesn't get anything any better than Skyrim. And
yeah, like it looks great. I just got it again. I have it on PlayStation 3. I bought it on that when it came out.
hmm,
And then just recently I got it for PC because I wanted to do some of the mods. And for some reason, the joke, the first one I got was the nude mod, and it looks fantastic. So
I bet it does.
that's fun. um,
All those hairy
but
elf women. Oh yeah.
um,
Come
but the
here,
reason I
young
just
traveller. I see you've had a long journey. Sit with
yes,
me by the rug, and I will get you a foaming pint of ale. I'm sorry, I'm just getting into character.
very long.
Very
I
long.
um I only asked about that because the gameplay is like very similar to Skyrim with Elder Scrolls Online. Um, There's just something that I've been doing lately. When if I'm going to get a new game, I won't read up on it too much. So when I start playing it, it's like completely fresh sort of thing.
Hmm.
So when I jumped into it, I really didn't know what to expect. I missed the first weekend. I did download it the first weekend when they had the open, but this weekend I'm like, yeah, I want to play it. I'd heard a lot of people saying that it was like pretty boring, same thing over and over again sort of thing, and nothing too new.
Hmm.
And yeah, kind of got to agree with the short time that I played it. It's kind of just like, it's just, yeah, I'm a
It's
little bit bored.
and it's unfortunate because it's the hardcore fans which are, as to be expected, the most critical. And then
But they
if
love it, the hardcore ones.
but yeah, that's it. Yeah, they love it, but they're the first people to throw stones.
Yeah,
And for the most part, you see those stones being thrown, and you don't know how much credence to give them.
mm,
Um, so, like you've done, you've stayed away from that altogether, and gone ahead and grabbed it and picked it up and started playing, and only to be confronted with those very same thoughts that the other people had. And it's
yeah,
if you did that time and
like,
time again, it's an expensive exercise. But
yeah, like it wasn't a bad game, but it's just kind of like, yeah, it's beta and all that sort of stuff, so it's definitely not the final version, but
mm,
it's kind of just like, well, they're gonna have to do like a lot of more interesting things, like to keep my attention.
keep me
Really,
satisfied.
yeah. I'm like I'm an aging sort of gamer in the sense where I play like a lot of games, and now you kind of have to keep my attention, sort of thing. Whereas younger people they don't, so that's why they're gonna love it. But me,
With all their
the,
drugs and rock and roll. Yeah.
yeah, with discerning taste, that I need captivating. So
Mm.
yeah, it's just
Naked mods and the like. Yeah. Yeah. I know where you're going.
fuck, I shouldn't have said anything.
Uh,
Oh, I fell right into that one. I got it because I thought it was funny and it's fucking hilarious.
I would
Oh my
imagine
god.
that in every sort of modded game, there is, that is one of the top 5 mods that is always done.
It was number one.
Yeah.
It was the number one. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get like the first 5 mods because I was looking for like the HD pack and like all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And the number one, like by far, was the naked mod. So I was just like, all right, well, it's going to be funny. And like, it is hilarious, like walking into like a tavern and like everyone's naked sort of thing. It's just,
Hello,
yeah,
young
it's
traveller.
hilarious.
I saw just before we started, actually, there was a GTA 4 Flappy Bird mod
Mm.
that someone had done. So he's just like starting on the corner of a street, just like minding his own business, and he just goes, right, and starts flapping, and he starts going over this sort of park, just bouncing on top of people and just like getting points for attacking from above. It's like the thinking
Oh,
that goes into that. I mean,
yeah.
and then modifying the code to suit that, and he had the pixel perfect Flappy Bird head, and yeah,
Yeah,
people.
more effort went into that than the actual Flappy Bird game itself.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done the reverse version of that as well. I think they've made the pipes out of Flappy Birds, and you actually
Yeah.
make you're flapping a pipe. Too much time, too much money.
Yeah. And we said we
Uh,
never talk about it.
we said we wouldn't. Damn it!
Yeah.
I now have to pay them money.
Hmm.
Do you want to talk a bit about
What?
movies?
Yeah. Well, very one quickly, very thing.
Mm.
Just because I'm really excited about this for
Oh,
some reason. Just really bad.
we've covered
Um.
naked mods. God, get over it.
Yeah. Fucking hell, I should have. Thank God.
Zing.
Um. League of Legends. I played that for like 2 weeks and really liked it. And then on the second week and day one, when I woke up in the morning, I was like, don't want to play this game anymore. There's Heroes of the Storm, which is coming out, which is like the Blizzard version of League of Legends, which, judging by Hearthstone, can only be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's kind of just like, I don't know if it's still rumored or what, but yeah, it's going to be like League of Legends, and I can't wait.
Mm.
That's the story. Yeah,
Do I
because
need
I'm looking.
do I need to be a
I'm looking
nuclear
for something.
physicist to figure out the mathematics? Because that was what I was told about the World of Warcraft. It's like if you've got an addictive personality,
Oh
do not take up World of Warcraft because you'll start
no,
obsessing over it.
no, do not.
Yeah.
I was hardcore playing that. Oh my god. Yeah, I played that a lot. I don't admit it to anyone except if I'm on a podcast to everyone.
Potentially
Um,
tens of people.
yeah, no, but like vanilla World of Warcraft was like so much fun, so much fun. And then the first few add-ons were just like, yeah, it's all right. You know, you can only play the same game so many times, sort of thing. It's an old game,
Mm.
but vanilla WoW was fantastic. And Blizzard just make fantastic games. So this would be really good. I'm looking for another competitive game. So if it's like League of Legends but with World of Warcraft, yep, I'll be playing the shit out of that. So yeah, that'll be really cool. But it's going to be like see, League of Legends is free, but it's
Right.
not free in the sense where you get like free heroes every week sort of thing, and then when that week's finished, it changes over, and then you got different characters you can choose from unless you pay for your one character, which you get all the time. So yeah, that's the League of Legends model, and they make like a shitload of money. So I'm thinking there's rumors that World of the Heroes of the Storm will have the same sort of model as League of Legends. So it could be pretty pricey to pay, but if I like it, I'll pay for it. I don't care. So that's really cool. And that is all I have to say about that.
I will expand on that just very, very briefly in that it just any sort of League of Legends that I ever have seen, it's hard to pick up
What's going on?
what the skill has just gone into it.
Oh yeah, it's just timing.
Yeah.
It's timing, but mainly knowing like your character. Same with like World of Warcraft. It's not just like clicking, click, 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 click sort of thing. You have to time everything perfectly, like all your cooldowns at the bottom, or your abilities,
Mm.
and it's your rotation as well. So basically, when you cast something, that's got like a slight cooldown. So you have to time all your other things perfect. So as soon as you finished your other rotation, your first one has then come off cooldown sort of thing. And it's just all the different combinations, knowing your character well, what it can do, getting the most out of it sort of thing. The person, if two people meet, it's the person who can get the most out of their character is going to win in the end. So that's where the skill is, knowing your character, yeah.
Whenever I've seen it like shoutcast at tournaments and whatnot, like it's almost like the announcer's got 3 octaves of volume
Yeah.
One is reserved for normal commentary. One level up is kind of balls slightly being squeezed at some point,
Squeeze.
and then level 3 DEFCON, DEFCON red, Amber Alert, whatever the highest sort of warning level is about to be.
Yeah.
It's like someone has put his balls next to a blowtorch, squeezed them, and put them in a blender at the same time. Don't be near any speakers whatsoever because you'll just lose your eardrums entirely. And I'm just like, oh, okay, he just blew something up, and yet this announcer's just jizzed 7 times and is in danger of flooding the commentary booth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
get it. And I guess, again, don't shoot the messenger. I just need to be...
Yeah. It's just very competitive. Like in terms of like esports, it's very good because it's very sport, like, 2 teams of 5 and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you know your character, you know its abilities, you get the most out of it. And yeah, that's what skill is. Yeah. Really learning it.
Nice.
So yeah.
I got round, finally, to seeing The Wolf of Wall Street today.
Jeez, man, where have you been?
Thailand,
Fine.
London, New York. Places, man. I've seen some things.
Yep. Out of score out of 10, what are you? What do you give it? 11, 12?
It's up there.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
It was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I will preface this in Ron's absence by going, spoiler face. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I won't lead the witness or anything like that. I was in gold class. It was part of my birthday celebrations.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good movie to see gold class too because it goes for 3 hours. So.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like 3 hours either. Whether or not it was, it felt slightly shorter because the couple of beers that were brought to me over the course of the movie, or the truffle fries that came along with them. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, like it will be an injustice if he doesn't get an Oscar for that.
Oh, I'll be so upset. Yeah.
Almost to the point where it'll do me physical harm if he... Well, I won't say that. But even then, I was in stitches when McConaughey came on screen.
Yeah.
And his character... I mean, they could have cast a no-name, or they could have cast an unknown, or just, some typically quirky character to play his role. And he was in the movie for, 15 minutes? And you don't
not long
see him
enough
for the whole thing. And it's like... did you have to cast him? But I'm kind of glad that you did cast him. They would have paid him his quote, knowing full well that this movie was going to go gangbusters. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I now
Definitely.
like having in my memory that Margot chick's body in my mind right now. I'm having trouble shifting it, to be brutally honest. And props to her as well. I mean, it's kind of like you jump straight out of the pond of Neighbours, a little known show in Australia, and I'm sure the world over, right up to the big leagues in pretty much your first movie role. Duking it out with Leo and going full frontal. Fan-fucking-tastic. So yeah, that captivated my attention, as you can probably imagine. But even everything else, like I love period stuff like that, where the continuity people need to be 100% spot on. So it's like, okay, we'll give him a Lamborghini Countach. They'll give him, a Ferrari Testarossa, which looking back is actually a fairly awful supercar in the grand scheme of things. But at the time, it's kind of like, you just live to excess. And how that bloke didn't die from all the stuff that happened to him. My God. My God. But yeah, no, really, really good. I implore people to see it.
Yeah, I loved it. And I mean, if you like that too, see Wall Street, which was Oliver Stone's one from the 80s with Charlie Sheen in it too, which is not the similar, but definitely not the stylized. You can definitely see the differences between the two directors. But I saw, I've always loved Wall Street. It's always been like in my top 10 favorite movies. So yeah, and I love everything to do with stock markets and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And everyone's just fantastic in it. So
it's funny you mentioned Wall Street, actually. Of all the, I mean, when I went back to the UK in June of last year, you know, I was dealing with a Qantas entertainment system that had been completely revamped, touchscreen, you know, all the latest releases and all that sort of stuff. And I think after the token new release that I really wanted to watch, I went straight into the back catalogue of the classics and stuff. And yeah, Wall Street was in there. And I found myself watching, you know, Wall Street from Dubai to London. You know, of all the things that I had at my disposal, I thought, you know what? Yeah, I want to watch old school Michael Douglas with Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen and Daryl Hannah and all that sort of stuff, and just see that gap of like what is considered a large amount of money back then, which nowadays, you know, post GFC and you know, I suppose 20 or 30 years worth of inflation, it's just like, yeah, a drop in the ocean kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even when, and I think it was, yeah, it would have been the flight to Thailand that I watched the second Wall Street movie.
Oh yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, it was all right, but yeah,
it was more, wasn't as hard hitting as the first one.
Yeah.
But that opening scene where you see him getting out of jail, and it's like they're going through the inventory of the stuff that he went into.
Like a little time capsule.
One wallet, this, that, the other, and one mobile phone, and it's like a house brick, which would have been the smallest model at the time in 1987.
Yeah.
Classic.
But yeah, I think the Oscars are on tomorrow. Oh yeah, that looks really good.
Yes, Oscars tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Oscars tomorrow. Yeah, cool. So we'll find out.
So preemptive good luck to Leo. Preemptive, please wear a low cut top Margot for the Oscars. Preemptive. That's pretty much all I've got to say about the Oscars. I just don't want Gravity to win.
No, it was good.
It was good, but it wasn't great.
Yeah. I didn't see what the big deal about that.
Yeah. I mean, if she didn't spend half the movie talking to herself, there would be literally no dialogue, so... Yeah, Godzilla. Yeah, they released a full... was it a full-length trailer this week?
Yeah.
Or more an expanded version on the trailer that they already did?
Expanded one or something. Yeah.
That I
love... Yeah, I love a Godzilla remake. So it's going to be good. Looking forward to this one.
Even the Matthew Broderick one?
Yeah, that was good when it came out.
Yeah, it was actually. Puff Daddy soundtrack, back when he was Puff Daddy.
Oh my God, that song. Oh. That song still gets played at the Olympic Stadium in Sydney at like the football games. Like they must have just bought that song outright. You know? And then it's play. I mean, no one's gonna know what we're talking about right now, but yeah, when you go to the football,
does it come with me?
Yeah. They just
go see a Bulldogs game at Telstra Stadium or something, and be
that
prepared.
Song will play.
Be prepared for who's the guitarist that did that cameo or that? Oh God,
isn't it like
super famous?
Yeah, like Led Zeppelin or something like that. That's in it.
I was tempted to say Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Yeah. God, my dad would kill me if I get that one wrong. He still has like the ticket stubs from when he saw all that shit. So, yeah, I like him too.
Points to viewers who can tell me in the chat in the description below. not description.
Yeah.
Comments below.
Comments below. Shocking that we don't know. It's
It is,
blasphemous.
yeah. And as
Jesus
soon
Christ.
as...
When you're on the spot, you're on live, you're on the spot. My brain doesn't think as much.
That's it. Maybe I'll overdub the answer in post-production. Oh, the magic of the interwebs.
Mr. Black. Yeah.
Mr.
But no,
Black.
Godzilla. Yeah. It's going to be good.
Is it the addition of Bryan Cranston that's making it better than what it should be, or do you think it'll be just as good without him?
Nah, they could have put anyone there.
Yeah. It does look good, though,
definitely.
I must admit.
Yeah. Who doesn't like a Godzilla remake? I can't wait.
I like seeing how big movies get in terms of scale, and whether or not, because even the first one, kind of, it wasn't on two legs or anything like that. It was more like a lizard that was hunched over, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did it go up on hind legs at all?
Yeah.
I suppose
I'm
it
pretty sure
did
it was
at
standing.
some point. Yeah.
I can't remember now.
Kind of like the King Kong equivalent of a giant lizard kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's a lizard that's been affected by nuclear radiation or something.
Radiation. Yeah.
I suppose it had to start off in its current form of on four legs. I don't know. But yeah, just seeing how big things can get in relation to skyscrapers, and poor old skyscrapers get fucked up. You're sitting there just typing away at your minimum wage job, being an office clerk or something, and next thing you know, you've got this whacking great prehensile tail just coming through the window at you. It's 15 stories tall. Must be a bummer.
No, but when does that come out?
That is something that I will have to... I can't go on and not know when that comes out. I'm tempted to say May. But
I think it's May.
2014
I'd laugh
release.
I'd laugh if you said March, because then everything's coming out in March.
8th of May. God, I'm good.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, so... Bryan Cranston. X-Men, Days of Future Past, release date Australia. That is going to be on 22nd of May. So it seems for the games of March, we get the equivalent in May in movies. Although this month's quite good for movies as well. Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. That said, though, that's the only one that I can reference. Still. Need for Speed. Oh, there was this, just before we get off movies, there was this cool GoPro video that was filmed by this guy in New York City, entitled 55 Straight Green Lights.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I'm so lame. I saw the thing, but I didn't watch it. But I already knew what it was, because we did the exact same thing in New York as well.
Oh, really?
When we were coming back from the bar, yeah.
At 3 a.m.?
Yeah, at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Just like, I don't know what it is. It must be like the sensors or something like that. And you just go down, I don't know what avenue it was. I was drunk at the time. But it was me and the other Ben were coming home. And it was the cab driver was just like, yes, 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 yes. Just like not taking his foot off the accelerator. And just in the distance it's going like red, green, green, green. And it's because there's no one else on the road.
No.
And you just go straight through, and it feels so good. But I don't think we got 50. We definitely didn't get 55. I think we probably got like 10 or something like that.
I must give myself a reminder. I'll put it in the description below. It's just on the Kotaku site, but it's like, if you're a nostalgic old soul like I am, it just brings back them feels. And it's wonderful. So in the podcast that we shall not name, we actually went over what IGN are doing at the moment, which is the top 10, or the top games rather, of some of their, I suppose, top line editors and contributors and stuff. Last week we did Greg Miller's top 10 games of all time. Colin Moriarty, we were in line to do Colin Moriarty's top 25 games of all time. But I think in the interest of time, the fact that we're probably a bit over an hour and a quarter going through so far, I might save that for next week. It's a topic that can probably age quite well anyway, and give me an opportunity as well to get my top 10 together. But Ben has his top 10, don't you?
Yes, I do. Look, I've been very excited for this. Put a lot of time in it because really, it's definitely something that you don't want to announce and then forget something. Because that's like when you vote in the Triple J Hottest 100, you get your top 10 in, you vote, and then 2 days later you're like, shit, I forgot to put this song in. So I made up this list and edited it a little bit, changed a few things around. So I think it's settled now, so it's pretty good. It's my top.
To be fair, the backstory on this was, when we did not do this last week, we both came up with our top 10 within about 15 minutes of proposing it. And I think, from what Ben's saying anyways, is that it probably has been refined over the course of the week. So he's probably quite glad that he didn't get the first edit, or didn't get the opportunity to do the first edit before it made its way online. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise that the recording from last week fucked up, because now, ladies and gentlemen, for your consideration, Ben's top 10.
Alrighty. Again, this was very hard to do. Anyway, I would like to start off with, this is cheating a little bit. I have a few honourable mentions which didn't make it into the top 10, but
how many are there?
Need
How many honourable mentions?
6. So
Ladies
it's almost like my top
Ben's
16.
Top 16.
Top 16. The first 6 are not in order. It's just a list. They have to be mentioned. You can't do a top 10 list and not have these mentioned. All these games shaped like my gaming life sort of thing, all had an impact on me sort of thing. And if I don't mention these ones, then my top 10 list will be meaningless sort of thing. So I have to mention these ones just very quickly. Honorable mentions. First one is X-Wing, the game. Fantastic game. Oh my god. Metal Gear Solid 2. Gran Turismo.
Is that Peace Walker, that one?
No, that was the one on PlayStation 2.
Right.
I think it's Sons of the Patriots, I think it was. It's the one where you're on the boat at the start and then you go to the plant.
Sounds like
sort
every Metal Gear Solid I've ever played.
Yeah, every Metal Gear
Continue.
Solid. Gran Turismo, just because the first one I had on PlayStation, they've just been fantastic. I love cars, so fantastic. Papers, Please. I mention that one all the time. So much fun. Hotline Miami, fantastic game. And also Dune as well. Dune on PC, like old school, just...
Sandcastle Simulator, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie, Dune? David Lynch's movie, Dune?
If I have, it's been so long ago that I couldn't recall a single cutscene or single scene from it. I think it was out around the same time as Cyborg was out. Like, I think I'm getting those movies confused. Jean-Claude Van Damme as Cyborg.
Yeah, well, it was made at the same time of Star Wars. But then they delayed the release by a couple of years because every time they went to release it, another sci-fi movie came out and they didn't want it to compete with that. And it's like a 3-hour epic. Like, it goes for ages. And it is a fantastic movie. Such a good movie. Anyway, they have the game of it as well. And it's just like really well made and it's really old school and fantastic. Anyway, that's done. Honorable mentions out of the way. I had to say all those 6 ones.
Done.
Now, done. Good. Number 10, Grim Fandango. We've mentioned this before. We mentioned this last week too in the podcast that shall not be mentioned. And we've mentioned it more than Titanfall.
No, we did. We didn't mention anything last week. We didn't mention anything last week for over an hour.
No, we didn't. I love Grim Fandango. That is just the storytelling, the art style is just fantastic. I didn't mention last week that they're also making a point-and-click mod for it, so it's going to be a lot easier to play on PC. Well, I mean, it came out on PC, but now they've just made it a little bit more accessible sort of thing, so that's going to be fantastic. I will keep an eye out for that and try and get that and give that another play, just because Ron loves it even more than me. So for me to say it's my number 10. He'll probably say it's like his 5 or something like that, or even number 1. Just a fantastic game.
Mario Kart for him.
Yeah. Number 9 is Quackshot. That was on Sega Mega Drive.
Quackshot.
Oh,
Is that a
Quackshot.
DuckTales?
That is
Shooter?
a DuckTales one.
Okay.
It is. The side scroller, you got the yellow plungers in your plunger gun, which only stay there for a bit. The red ones are like permanent, all this sort of stuff. That was heaps of fun. Loved that game. Fantastic. Oh, haven't played it for such a long time as well. That's number 9. Number 8 is World of Warcraft.
Never heard of it.
I played that. Yeah, it's a little game. It's,
Indie title.
yeah, it's a little game. Small player base. Not very many people play it. But yeah, I sunk like 8 years into that game easy, sort of thing. Enough said. Fantastic game. Don't play it anymore though. Won't be getting the new expansion or anything like that. It's had its time, unfortunately. If they release vanilla like servers from like level cap like 60 and all the old dungeons and all that sort of stuff and kept it like old rules exactly how it was, yeah, I probably would start playing it again, because back in the day it was fantastic and it was hard. It was a challenge. Like you had to read up strategies before you did bosses with 40 people. Oh, crazy. Number 7, Doom. I was tossing up between Doom and Wolfenstein, but probably Doom, just because great soundtrack, great arsenal, everything. That's just a proper fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one. Number 6.
The new one's coming out as well. I read
Yeah,
this.
Doom 4. Yeah, which I think they're just calling Doom, but it is the 4th one, and that should be really good.
And
hopefully,
Wolfenstein, isn't it? Isn't there a
yes,
Wolfenstein
the new
variant?
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Which I don't think is going to be that good, but anyway, better to you first. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 3. I love that one. I mean, yeah, obviously Grand Theft Auto 5 is fantastic. So was number 4, but number 3 for me, just the change from number 2 to number 3 was just like phenomenal, with the whole third person getting into cars, it's all 3D, all that sort of stuff. Wasn't top down anymore. Blew me away, and I've never been so hooked on a game like with Grand Theft Auto 3. Just loved that game. So that was number 6. Number 5, Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
What everyone
You're coming
loves
up some
Red Dead.
good ones. Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
which I've curiously omitted and potentially might insert into my own. I probably won't. I didn't put enough time into Red Dead, so I probably won't.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I played the shit out of that. That was just never been so like immersed, just standing like in the middle of like the wilderness and just like felt like being there, sort of thing. That was fantastic. Number 4, Portal 2. That I felt bad putting it at number 4 because I had so much fun with that. Just the comedy at the start with Stephen Merchant doing like the voiceovers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him. He is effing hilarious. Like
Portal 2. I mean, how old is that game? I mean, I suppose
a couple of years old now.
Yeah.
It's on the Steam sale quite often for only like $5 or something.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. The visuals are just fantastic. The puzzles are incredible. It's just like a lot of fun. The storyline is great too. It's not just a puzzle game. That's the thing. The first one was just a puzzle game. Had a storyline to it as well, and that was really good. But number 2, the storyline is just fantastic on it as well, and it's just like it's hilarious. You really just want to keep on playing it. Like it really captivated me. Again, I felt bad putting it out at number 4 because I just had so much fun with that one. I really recommend that one. Number 3, DayZ, even though it's a mod, well, standalone now as well. But I said it before when we had it with Major Ghibli and everyone laughed, and that's when I said I reckon DayZ changed gaming. I still think that. I still think after DayZ came out, it changed the way a lot of people thought about games, interactivity with everything. Maybe I'm a little bit out of touch by saying that it's a game changer sort of thing, but I think DayZ did a lot for the community, for mods, for games, all that sort of stuff. Fantastic game. Love it. Number 2, you probably haven't heard of this one. Maybe a few people haven't. Very old school. Street Rod. That game was on PC in the 90s, I guess, where old school, where it's like,
I am old school, so I'm doing my
I think
best to sort of filter through.
yeah, is it California Dreams Street Rod? I'm not sure. It's where you buy cars, you race them, you win money, you get the money, you go to the newspaper, you look for like used parts, and you install them yourself. So you click on the little bolts, the bolts come out, you put like a new carburetor in, you put the bolts back in, and you tune it, and then you go race it for like pink slips and all that sort of
So
stuff.
pretty much your life, just on a computer then.
Pretty much what I do on the weekends, except for the racing. I drive like a grandma. Oh, um, I've never had a speeding ticket, knock on wood.
Boom.
28, never had a
You'll get
speeding
one
ticket.
tomorrow.
Crazy. No, I will. My God. Anyway, fantastic game. Love the art style, the soundtrack, everything. Fantastic. Okay, number 1.
Should we pause for effect?
Drum roll.
Go.
Fallout 2. Old school again. Just there's the depth of that game. The amount of time you can sink into it is phenomenal. The attention to detail, all the references that's in it, the story is just fantastic. I still play it today. I got the like the new mod for it as well, which just makes it like 1080, fixes a few bugs and all that sort of stuff, which is like fan made. Works great, and it's just such a fantastic game. I love it. I prefer it. Well, clearly I prefer it to Fallout 3, seeing as it's my number 1 game of all time.
Is that New
yeah,
Vegas? The Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 came out first, and then New Vegas. New Vegas was actually better than number 3. New Vegas was great. But yeah, Fallout 2 is just fantastic. Stuck with me. Played like the shit out of it. I've played through it at 5, 6 times, which doesn't sound like that much, but at least 5 or 6, like completely. I've started it plenty of times and then stopped, sort of thing. But the game takes a long time to finish. So yeah, to play it through like 5 or 6 times is a big deal.
Bit of effort. Wings of Redemption.
And it's different every time you finish it. So yeah, like the cutscene changes. Like
right.
Yeah, like if you go to like, because there's all these different places on the map you can go to. So if you don't kill a certain slaver or whatever, his reign continues. So when you finish the game, he's in the cutscene saying, "But you didn't do this," and "But you did this. It's great, but then it had an impact on these people," and there's just so many different possibilities, and it's just, I love it so much.
It's funny you say that, because Wings of Redemption's doing a Fallout New Vegas playthrough.
Cool.
And he sort of like prides himself on doing it on the very hard setting, like playing it, and it's hardest, most ridiculous difficulty kind of thing. And I've kind of followed it, and I've gone through, and I watched, I suppose, the first few minutes of every sort of chunk that comes on. Usually they range between like 15 and 20 odd minutes to per chunk kind of thing. He's up to episode 30 at the moment, and I'm just going through it, and I'm like, maybe this is the game I could get into. And Fallout 4, is that in build at the moment or something? Or
Yeah, apparently still remembered.
yeah,
But you got to remember that the difference between Fallout 2 and Fallout 3 is pretty massive. Whereas Fallout 2 is still like a top-down,
oh, is it
old school. Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of the difference between like Grand Theft Auto 2 and Grand Theft Auto 3.
right?
Was when it changed over, sort of thing. Whereas Fallout 2 is very old, but it's just perfect example of awesome gameplay. Just yeah, it's just fantastic. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy
Interesting
with that
list.
list.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go into a bit more depth and into a bit more of my own personal archive, just to try and come up with a list as detailed as that. Because I from the, I suppose, the initial list that I came up to was very much, what do I remember, and then what do I remember having the most fun playing, which seems like two fairly easy conditions to put on a list, on a top 10 list kind of thing. And it may be as simple as that, but yeah, I will see. And I was only applying it, funnily enough, to games from like the mid-90s to present day, of which there are a lot. But then I was thinking, hang on, there are games 7 years prior to that in terms of my gaming gaming history. So we're talking the late 80s.
You know, think of Prince of Persia, stuff like that.
Yeah, it would be kind of stuff like that. It would be games like, oh, I nearly gave one away then. Ooh.
Ooh.
Nearly gave one away.
Ooh.
But yeah, games of that ilk and time frame. But yeah, cool. Nice list, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with that one. I felt good about it.
We will revisit this in a year's time and see.
Yeah.
On episode 67, we will come back to this and see if Ben's taste has changed
in a year's time. Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Well, mind you, at this rate, if Chris doesn't fucking turn up,
But that's what I mean. Yeah.
It'll be dual feed from here on in. Ron's coming back. Don't worry. Ron's coming back. Cool. Well, I think we might wrap things up there. That's takes us just past the hour-and-a-half mark, and yeah, pretty good show, I thought, for just the two of us doing double duty. So,
yep.
Thanks to you, sir. Thanks for being Mr. Dependable.
My pleasure. I love this.
I love this. Make love, not console wars. Oh, we didn't talk about our taglines today.
No, mine was just briefly in. Man, we mention Titanfall all the time, but Titanfall only being 720p on Xbox One, not 1080, and everyone warring and all this sort of stuff. So I was just like, I'm exhausted this week. Get over it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mind you, like I've said probably time and time again, I'm going to be Respawn's best friend. I'm going to get on Xbox One and PlayStation.
Ooh,
PC.
Slipped it again.
Is that, yeah, Freudian slip. Yeah, getting it on both. So, and it does feel remarkable. It does. I didn't actually feel too much of a difference between the two. So they'll be getting my, what would it be? $140 over the course of the next month or so. Congratulations for making me buy a game twice. Wonderful.
What an age we live in.
What an age we live in. Yeah. Disposable
Seriously.
income up the arse.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. That was episode... what did we come up with? Was that 15? That was 15. Episode 15.
Not including the Titanfall.
Not including the Titanfall. Go and have a look at that, actually. It was quite a good... again, it was a dual comm between Ben and myself that... because Ben and I had... the equivalent of 7 terabytes worth of Titanfall footage between the two of us in terms of how many hours we sank into the beta. Yeah, we did an hours long commentary kind of breakdown and analysis of what we liked and what we hope would come in the full release. So go check that out. I'll make a link in the description as well. As always, give this video a like and share it around. Always helps. And I failed in my subscriber goal for my birthday, so a subscription would always be helpful as well. But for the time being, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on episode 16 sometime in the next 7 years or so. No, kidding. It'll be next week. Sorry, it'll be next week. Anyway, thanks very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.